I thought my grandfather had left me enough money to change my life, but I didn't realize that greed can turn even the nicest people into monsters. My grandfather was a simple man. He lived in the same small house in Ohio for 50 years and drove a rusted-out truck. When he passed away, everyone in the family assumed he was broke. My cousins didn't even bother showing up to the funeral. But as his favorite grandson, he left me a small wooden box and a letter that said, "Open this when you feel like the world has given up on you." A year later, I lost my job and was about to get evicted. I opened the box and my jaw dropped. Inside was a bank statement for a high-yield account with over $100,000 in it. I couldn't breathe. I thought my prayers were finally answered. But then I made the biggest mistake of my life. I told my aunt. Within 24 hours, my entire extended family was at my door. They weren't there to offer support. They were there to demand their share. My aunt, who hadn't spoken to my grandfather in a decade, actually brought a lawyer to my apartment. They started screaming at me, calling me a thief, and saying I had manipulated an old man. It was like watching a group of human caterpillars crawling over each other for a piece of gold. The pressure was so intense I almost gave in. But then I read the back of the letter. It said, "P.S. If they come for the money, tell them to check the floorboards in the shed." My family literally ran to his old house and started ripping up the floorboards with hammers and crowbars, destroying the only home he ever loved. They found nothing but a second note that read, "I gave the money to the person who showed up when I had nothing. Greed is a poison." I watched them realize they had destroyed his house for nothing. I used that money to move away and start a business. I learned that day that money doesn't just buy things, it reveals who people truly are.